Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to your daily edition of the Cricket Happening Show. And on this Cricket Happening Show, I have to start off by saying that right now, in the match at St. Lucia, in St. Lucia, where West Indies are into their second day against Sri Lanka, there was an element of controversy in the morning as the umpires wanted to change the ball, and the Sri Lankan team decided not to come out, and the match was delayed for more than 1 hour, and West Indies were awarded 5 penalty runs because the Sri Lankan players did not come. And the reason that they were changing the ball, yesterday the umpires in the evening were examining the ball, and one could see instances where umpires were definitely noticing the ball again and again. And it came to such a pass that today they found that there was some alteration which was done with the ball. They probably suspected that there was something which was going on. One does not know what really was going on, and there were signs of discontent among the Sri Lankan players, and they came out in a sort of an aggressive manner by serving a lot of short pitch stuff at the West Indies batsmen. In fact, Shai Hope was hit on the chest by Lairu Kumara, especially Lairu Kumara had ramped up his pace and he was bowling some extreme bouncers, and it was a sort of really a sort of probably riled the Sri Lankans. And it seems that there was a substance which was used to alter the ball, but one does not know whether what exactly has happened because it's not yet out into the open. So we are definitely waiting. But I can tell you one thing, that I can give you a cricket update right now from the day 3 at here in the second Test match, where West Indies are just 12 runs shy of taking the lead against Sri Lanka in this second Test match. And they are 241 for 5 currently. The second new ball has been claimed, and it's a story which I would be talking in detail. So I won't be there to give you a full match report, but definitely I'm out here to give you a live cricket update, which I'll be coming back onto. But before I get back to that, and I also have to say that Netherlands and Scotland. Netherlands is, they were there's a Tri-Nations tournament which is going on, where Netherlands have already won twice against Ireland, and for the first time we saw the Ireland register their first victory in the Tri-Nations series here, as they beat Scotland today by 46 runs, Ireland. And but I'm definitely going to start off with the second ODI between Australia and England, which was played at Cardiff at the Rose Bowl. And I have to say that England ran up their highest ever total in an ODI against the Aussies, putting on 342 for 8. But also credit to the Aussies, the pitch was full of runs, and the Australians definitely really gave, I would say they really put their best foot forward and gave it a real chase. And for England, it was spurred on by Jason Roy, who finally, after a long time, hit some superb form as he crashed 120 of 150 or 108 deliveries, which had 12 fours and 2 sixes, and Josh Butler pinched in with an unbeaten 91 towards the end of 102 deliveries with 8 fours and 2 sixes. Australians in their chase, they were led by Sean Marsh, 5th century. In fact, Jason Roy also got his 5th ODI century, and Sean Marsh led the way for the Aussies. He was the only man, along with him to a certain extent Ashton Agar participated, but Sean Marsh got to a 5th ODI century, a magnificent century from Sean Marsh, but unfortunately had to finish on the losing side. Sean Marsh hit 131 of 178 deliveries, 10 fours and 3 sixes. And as I said, Ashton Agar was the one who participated in a brief manner by contributing 46 of 50 deliveries, 7 fours. That is the match situation. So just talking about the match, the Australians were the ones who actually won the toss, and they decided to invite the host England to bat first. And it started off with Jason Roy and Barrister walking, and I can tell you that runs were just cascading from the blade of Barrister and Jason Roy. And today we had some debuts as well. We had DRC Short actually making his ODI debut. and we had a look at Jai Richardson, the young, promising Jai Richardson. He has been bowling very well in the Australian domestic tourneys, and he has got an opportunity here. And he definitely, as I said, if you look at the bowling card of the Aussies, they all disappeared for runs. Jai Richardson 10 overs no maiden, 2 for 64 for Jai Richardson. Kane Richardson 8 overs no maiden, 2 for 56. Ashton Agar 9 overs, none for 52. None of the bowlers were spared today. Marcus Stoinis 10 overs crashed for 60 runs with 1 wicket. Andy Tye was totally collared by the English batsman. 9 overs no maiden, 2 for 81. DARC short bowled 4 overs on his debut, none for 24. As far as the England card goes, Jason Roy, the top order, was brilliant stuff. I mean, they got a wonderful start from Jason Roy and Bairstow, which added 63 in 8.2 overs. So precisely in 50 deliveries, they went on to hit 63 runs. And Jonathan Bairstow was really firing on all cylinders. He was crashing the ball to the fence at absolute ease, as he carved out 42 of 24 deliveries, which included 8 fours and 1 6. And then Alex Hales, I mean, if you look at the wickets, there, the first wicket to go was Jonathan Bairstow. This was, he tried to, he had a real a big swish at the ball of Kane Richardson, got a real nick at it, and the keeper Tim Pine making no mistake behind the stumps. Alex Hales got a real nip backer from the fastest bowler Jai Richardson, as it found its way into the furniture of Alex Hales. Alex Hales was gone bowled by Jai Richardson for 26 of 39 deliveries, 3 fours. Joe Root came in. Joe Root had a compact 22 of 40 deliveries, 2 fours, becoming a victim of the bowling of Stoinis. Now, this was a wicket where in fact, Stoinis had a short delivery onto him, and Joe Root shaped in for the pull, and in the process, it actually hit the handle of the bat, and it was mid-wicket, and a DRC shot came up with a real blinder there. He actually scooped the ball up just inches before the ball went on to hit the turf. And at that time, the score for them were 179 for 3. So 179 for 3 when Joe Root departed. But Jason Roy was really playing some brilliant pulls and drives. And you know, Jason Roy is an eye player. Whenever he gets the ball, he really times it to perfection. And one could see the effortless ease with which he was doing it. He was playing some magnificent pulls and magnificent drive shots as well. And he went on to reach his 5th ODI century, 120 of 108 balls, which included 12 fours and 2 sixes. Now, looking at the dismissal of Jason Roy, Jason Roy was caught behind by Tim Pine, the wicket-keeper, or the bowling of time. Andy Tye was the costliest bowlers today. He was being collared by the English batsman. It's a consolation for Andy Tye as he got a ball. It's a cross-seamer. It came into the right-hander, and actually he was actually changing. He was, he was basically trying to, just have a shot at it, and in the process, the ball actually went down the onside, and Tim Payne actually took a good catch. So he was gone, and then it was the case of Josh Butler joining. So once Jason Roy was gone, the impetus was really set up. When Jason Roy departed, the score read 239 for 4 in 35.5 overs, and still a long way to go. They had 15 overs still left, but I thought the Aussies did very well to come back. Even though Josh Butler was simply superb with his innings, Josh Butler made sure that England would get as much as possible. And finally, thanks to Josh Butler's knock, which was an unbeaten 91 of 170 deliveries only, 8 fours and 2 sixes, and those 2 sixes coming off consecutive deliveries on the bowling of Jai Richardson, whom he ramped up into the upper territory. Other than that, Billings was clean bowled by Andy Tye for 11 of 27 balls, so not a knock that Billings would like. Billings was pretty slow. He actually insided onto the stumps from the bowling of Andy Tye. Moeen Ali also could not be a contributor. He was also a victim of the bowling of Jai Richardson. Now this was a man, Moeen Ali actually got a ball which a short ball. He had a real go at it, and he was caught in the deep at the square leg region by Ashton Agar. He was gone for 8 of 6 deliveries with 1 boundary. David Willey made 11. He was a victim of the bowling of Kane Richardson, as this was again a short delivery from Kane Richardson, and it was I thought it was very well taken on his follow through by the bowler Kane Richardson, as he caught and bowled him for 11. And then we saw the run out of Liam Plunkett for 1. Either it should have been not or not, but it was thanks to Josh Butler playing those unorthodox strokes of his, and also the way he normally plays. As you know, he's a quick runner between the wickets as well. With all his strokes, he got England the highest ever total against Australia, 342 for 8. Also, that happens to be the highest total by any team, or by an England team, one could say, in Cardiff. So the Australians were given a target of 343 runs to win from their 50 overs. And let's have a look at what really happened. So Travis Head, DRC shot, was making his ODI debut, and DRC shot definitely was a bit of a struggle. It was not easy for them. It was some good bowling, I thought, from the England bowlers. At one side it was David Willey, other side it was Mark Wood, and then Liam Plunkett as well. So, but they did not, I wouldn't say they kept it really tight. They had 24 runs on in 3 overs, and then the first wicket fall, and the first wicket to fall was that of Travis Head. Travis Head was the first to go, as Mark Wood actually got it. Now, this was a ball which was on the middle leg stump, and it was Travis Head trying to flick the ball, but in the process it was an uppish stroke from Travis Head. The ball went up into the air, and Hales actually driving and taking a brilliant one-handed catch, and that was the end of Travis Head. So that was wicket number 1. After that, we saw the wicket of DRC shot on his ODI debut, out for 21. He was a victim of the bowling of Moeen Ali. Now, this was a ball from Moeen Ali. Probably, as I said, towards the latter part of the day, what one saw was that when the Australians were batting, there was plays in for some slower deliveries and cutters, because that was the one, the pitch was becoming a bit slow. So that was something which was really working. And Moeen Ali was brought in early by the skipper, and today Butler was the captain in the absence of Morgan, as you all know. So Moeen Ali was the one who actually struck. Got a bit of turn, and we have seen that DRC shot is not very good at playing spin bowling. We have seen it in the IPL as well, and this was the shot that DRC shot played. It's a bit of turn, edged it, and slip came into business. He was caught in the slip region, so he was a goner, and that made the score. Look at 77 for 2 when DRC shot departed. Sean Marsh came in. Sean Marsh was looking in good touch at the time, but Marcus Stoinis, they needed someone to actually play, have a long partnership there, but Stoinis was a disappointment. Now, Mark Stoinis was clean bowled by Liam Plunkett for 9 of 18 deliveries, and this was a back of length delivery. It actually tore through the defense of Marcus Stoinis and went on to hit the furniture, and Stoinis was gone, bowled by Plunkett for 9. So that was wicket number 3 for the Aussies, 99 for 3, and then there was a big wicket. Probably they definitely had a lot of hope, because they had Aaron Finch, Glenn Maxwell in the locker, but this was the problem. Aaron Finch was dismissed for a duck. Now, this was a ball which Finch was actually trying to sweep Adil Rashid, the leggy, but in the process he was hit plumb in front of the wicket, and up went the umpire's finger. And he was walking. Aaron Finch was walking. LBW bowled Rashid for a duck, and that was a big wicket for the Englishman. The score read 110 for 4 at the stage in the 21st over, and as I said, at one end we are seeing Marsh. Marsh actually placed some lovely shots on the offside. He was driving well, and he was looking pretty good at the crease. Glenn Maxwell came in. Glenn Maxwell collected 31 runs, and then Moeen Ali was the one who actually nipped this wicket. Now, Maxwell was trying to hoist him into the crowd there, but Moeen Ali was smart enough. He had done him absolutely well in the flight, and it was a goner. It was gone. And after that, and then finally, with the score 164 for 5, they definitely required someone to stand with Sean Marsh, who was looking pretty good at the crease, and that came in the form of Ashton Agar. So Ashton Agar came in and he really, I thought, he played a fine hand. He gave some good support to Sean Marsh to actually extend the innings further for England, keep up the chase going, which was good to see, and Ashton Agar's contribution. And in fact, it was a good partnership, which actually were going at a very good rate, because in 8 overs they had added 96 runs for the sixth wicket, I reckon. And Ashton Agar finally he was out, but Ashton Agar in an attempt to actually go and get the tempo of scoring, keep up the tempo of scoring, was a victim. Now it was a googly from Adil Rashid. In fact, Ashton Agar was lured down the crease, but the ball actually very well done by Rashid, one thought, as the ball spun away, and Agar was totally fooled there, and Butler had an easy stumping. So he was gone, Ashton Agar was gone. Stump Butler bowled Rashid for 46 of 42 deliveries, 7 fours. Tim Paine came to the crease, but then Sean Marsh had reached his 5th ODI century, and then the hope was with Sean Marsh, but when Sean Marsh's wicket fell, it was all over for the Aussies. Now this was Liam Plunkett taking the prize wicket of Sean Marsh, who was looking dangerous, I would say, because he was playing some magnificent strokes. But this was all over as this was a slower ball from Plunkett, and as I said, the nature of the pitch sort of changed a bit there, as there was a cutter from Liam Plunkett that probably stood up, and in the process Marsh was beaten by the slowness of the delivery, and he was clean bowled for 131, which included of 116 deliveries, 10 fours and 3 sixes. After that, it was definitely the writing was on the wall. When Sean Marsh departed, scored at 293 for 8, but probably there was still some hope with Tim Paine there, but Tim Paine had only tailenders for company, and then it was all over. Liam Plunkett took over. He got Tim Paine caught for 15 of 11 deliveries, 1 4. Andy Tye was a victim of the bowling of Rashid, 10 of 6 deliveries with 1 4. Jai Richardson fell for 2 to Plunkett, and that was all over. And the Aussies were bowled out for 304. Thus England taking a 2-0 lead in the 5-match ODI series and winning the match by 38 runs. David Willey, 7 overs, none for 40. Mark Wood, 9 overs, 1 win, 1 for 57. The most successful bowler was Liam Plunkett. 9.1 overs, 1 made and 53 runs, 4 wickets. And that was the turning point in the game, because Sean Marsh, with his current form that he was, I thought probably he would have been ringing the alarm bells for England. But fortunately, that was not the case, and Liam Plunkett was a goner. Sorry, Sean Marsh was a goner. Moeen Ali, 10 overs, 2 for 47, I thought bowled very well. Joe Root, 4 overs, none for 24. And Ali Rashid, even though got a bit of tap, he purchased the wickets. 8 overs, no made in 3 for 70. And Jason Roy was named man of the match. Well, dear fans and subscribers, now I have to really skim into the St. Lucia match, as we are still tea time here at St. Lucia on the 3rd day of the 2nd Test match between West Indies and Sri Lanka. And I can say for a fact that there was an element of controversy, as I said. The players, Sri Lankan players, did not come out, and the umpires actually penalized the Sri Lankans by awarding 5 penalty runs to the West Indies. And I have to say that it really probably the Sri Lankans were not happy with the change of the ball, and they didn't revolt, but basically they didn't come out for 1.5 hours. And after that, finally, with some persuasion, the Sri Lankan fielders came out into the centre, and it definitely felt that they were a very discontented lot by the way the things were going. The pace bowlers were hurling balls, especially Lairu Kumara. He was going absolutely at the batsman. He was going at the batsman's throat, and he was bowling some real short stuff. In fact, he was given a warning after bowling 3 bouncers which went over the shoulder, and it was something which was definitely riling the Sri Lankans as the ball was changed. And as far as and that happened, and then Shai Hope was actually hit on the chest as well with a very powerful blow. And if you look at the wickets there, Devon Smith today made 61. He was a victim of the bowling of Dhananjaya. It was LBW bowled Dhananjaya, the spinner, for 61 with 4 fours and 1 6. Kieron Powell was out for 27 to the bowling of Lairu Kumara. Shai Hope was dealt a really powerful blow on his chest. Shai Hope was out to the bowling. Now this was Shai Hope definitely shaken by Lairu Kumara, and the next bowler, Sriranga Lakmal, who was bowling the next over, picked up his wicket as he got a ball to jag away from Shai Hope. Shai Hope was sucked into it and he was gone. 19 with 2 boundaries. But the second new ball was claimed, and Roston Chase, I have to say, it was a very poor shot when the second new ball was claimed. Lairu Kumara was the bowler. He was given the new ball right away by the Sri Lankan captain Dinesh Chandimal, looking at the way he was bowling with fire and brimstone. And Roston Chase wicket was taken as Roston Chase played a very tame shot at it, and it ended up in the hands of Lakmal. So 41 with 5 boundaries, Chase gone. But as I said, right now West Indies at tea. They have just resumed after tea. Just a live cricket update. 247 for 5 is the current score. They are just 5 runs shy of taking the lead in the first innings. Shane Dowrich is looking very good. He's looking like he's bringing that old form back that he had in his first test. He's not out on 49, 4 fours and 1 6. Jason Holder is not out on 1, and that really sums up. And as I said, Lairu Kumara has 2 wickets, and 1 wicket appears to Lakmal Dhananjaya and Kasun Rajitha. Well, so this is the Darren Sammy National Cricket Stadium, Gross Islet, from where I'm reporting St. Lucia, and that is the live cricket update I'm filling with. And as I said, I don't have time to really go into any nitty-gritties, but I can definitely say Ireland have got their first ever win in the Tri-Nations tournament, as they have beaten Scotland by 46 runs at Denventer. Ireland, just talking about the Ireland innings, Ireland made 205 for 5 the 20 overs, Sterling making 51 of 29 to 10 fours, but Andy Balbirnie was the chief scorer. He slammed 74 of just 40 deliveries, 11 fours and 1 6. Gary Wilson contributing 58 of 38 deliveries, 4 fours and 2 sixes. And I'm not going to go into the bowling figures here. As far as Scotland were concerned, they could manage only 159 for 5. Munshi made 41, Quedzer 33, 29 Berrington, 23 to Don Budge, and that was all over. So as I said, Ireland getting their first win in this Tri-Nation tournament here at Denventer in Netherlands. Thanks for your company and thanks for watching Cricket Happenings. This is your host Ram signing off this on a Saturday. Thank you.